we have pre-action system, double interlock pre-action system. We discussed regarding wet pipe system, right? We use in the area where there is no chances of freezing. Most common applications worldwide, 80 to 85% they are installing it. But it fails at the location where we have freezing temperature or freezing atmosphere. Normally in the region where always there is temperature in below -6 right? So in those areas we have to use the dry pipe system. The next one we have the deluge valve, right? So deluge meaning flood. So we discussed a lot regarding the deluge valve, and the sprinklers are open. When there is a fire, water will discharge into the complete room, and it will flood the room within short period of time. I mean, it's protected. It's intended for high challenges fire where the heat release is exponential, like power gloves and all. The last one we have in the series is pre-action system. The one we at the JIC Fire Safety Training Center is deluge, widely made deluge valve, right? It's model F1, double interlock pre-action system. Now, normally with the pre-action system, we have three different types of the system. We have non-interlock system, we have a single interlock system, and we have double interlock system. Now, before going into detail of those interlocks, I want to highlight where we are using this kind of the system, right? This is the least installation worldwide. We want the application of this kind of the system is very limited. Right? It's very limited. It's very complex. If you look at those wet pipe system, dry pipe system, and deluge pipe system, and the last one we have the double interlock system. This is the most complex, most advanced, most protected one, and the cost of installation will be higher. The installation, testing, and maintenance cost will be higher. We need a lots of people to maintain. Now, this kind of devices cannot be easily maintained by some normal technician and all. We need qualified contractor to do the maintenance on this kind of system, because if the system is not maintained in correct configurations, we can lose the owner can lose so much amount that the money he invested to protect his premises, but the system is not protecting, he's losing his money, right? So then coming back to the application of the pre-action system. Normally, we want pre-action system to install in those locations, those buildings and all, where we want to avoid the room getting damaged because of water, right? We don't want to discharge water without fire. Like mistakenly, if someone broke in the sprinkler system, water discharges at all, or maybe due to some mistake, the valve is used and water discharges. No, we cannot discharge water like this in those conditions. Normally, the applications are the museum, the historical rooms, the libraries, right? The electronics rooms, the electronic data center where the highly and costly materials are stored. In those areas, we don't want to activate a sprinkler system without fire. Now, let's imagine if there is a fire, right? So, things are getting damaged due to the fire. At that moment, we can discharge the water. But without fire, if you are discharging water, it will damage those. Like I said in the museum, where they have stored costly items, a very old item, the precious item, that may be destroyed by water. So we want to make sure let it be fire. If there is an actual fire, then only this system will activate. Otherwise, we need different kind of the philosophy. Now coming on to the types of interlocks, where we require what kind of interlock. We have non-interlocks, we have single interlocks, and we have double interlocks, right? So in the single interlocks, water will enter inside the piping. Now, before going to that, I want to explain you. This is just like a dry pipe valve, where at the top we have water, air, and at the bottom we have the water. Now, this is a combination of the dry pipe valve also and combination of the deluge valve also. So we can call it the hybrid system. Means it's a combination of wet, dry, and deluge. So we have a deluge valve and we have a anti-rises valve and the check valve at the top, and the control valve from where water is getting supplied. So I was at the types of interlocks. The single interlocks mean the water will enter into the piping when detected by a detector. So detector detect the fire, it will allow water to go inside the pipeline. The first one. The second one we have non-interlock. So in non-interlock, the water will enter into the piping either by detection of the sprinkler system, means the bulb fuse, or either by the detection of the detectors. Any one of these two can allow water to insert inside the piping. Now coming to the last one, we have the double interlock system, which is the most advanced one and most protected one. We need two detection to allow water to go inside the system. The first one, the sprinkler system need to be fused, right, and then air should go out. At that time, due to the difference in the pressure, the valve will open and water will go inside. Right? But at the same time, suppose your sprinkler system break by mistake, right? Water should not go inside because this is protected, must vicious items. At that moment, there are detector. Here is our detector, right? So those smoke detector, right, will send signal to this solenoid valve. So this solenoid valve will, this one will send signal to the fire alarm control panel. The control panel will send signal to the solenoid valve, and once solenoid valve open the valve, water will go inside the system. So for the double interlock system, either the sprinkler activate or the detector activate. It will not allow water discharge into the system because they need two detectors. If this one activate by mistake due to some false smoke in those areas, there will be no water discharging into the system because the uh, uh, sprinkler already closed and it is pressurized by the air. This is all about pre-access system. Now coming to the different components, right, of the pre-access system, we have a control valve, right? It's a butterfly valve made by NIPCO. If you can see this one, it is indicating type, means the valve is closed at this moment. Keep in mind this should be always open 24/7 after 365 days, but since this is our lab for training purpose, we are just showing our participant for various simulations. So if you turn this one, the valve is open and closed. At this moment, the valve is closed because it is perpendicular to the pipe. If it is parallel to the pipe, the valve is open. The hard wire at the bottom, you can see, it means it is supervised. And if you try to open this wire outside, play with this one, it will give some signal to fire alarm panel. Okay, now here we have a connection from the water supply line with this water gauge, right? So we can see what is the inlet pressure at the bottom of the valve. Here we can see the pressure, right? It's up to around 300 psi, and all the way from here, this line is connected here with the pressure switch, right? So those pressure switches are PS10 it will give the pressure ratings, what is the pressure in the input. It is also supervised, so it will give signal to the fire alarm panel in case the pressure is going high or pressure is going below the designed one. So this is for the water pressure. Now, as I said, it's a deluge valve, right? This one is a deluge valve, and here we have a check valve, right? The AG riser check valve. So after the deluge valve, we need this kind of the arrangement. As I said, in double interlock pre-access system, if the system activate mistakenly by the detector, right? This detector gives a signal to the solenoid valve to open the valve and allowing water to go into. Water will go up to this location, right? But at the same time, we have a check valve, right? This check valve will only open like this, right? But from the top side, we have air pressures. So those air pressure will only minimize when there is actual fire and when the sprinkler system is fused. So in any case, after this one, it will again come to the reset position and in normal position. So the water going after this one, we need to fuse the sprinkler system, right? So that the pressure difference of the air will go and system will be activated. Now again, this is pressurizing the sprinkler rubber, the one we discussed. The rubber will be, the inside elastomeric rubber will be closed, the inlet line to the outlet line until there is a detection from the fire and solenoid valve is open. We have some other option to open this one. We have a manual pull lever, right? So if you want to open it manually, just push it and just pull it down and it will be activated. Just turn 90 degree. so that it will be active. So this one is a detector for the pre-action system. Here we have again to pull it down option, right, so that we can activate it manually in case of the fire if we are present nearby the fire areas. And again we have a fire suppression disable or disconnect system. Means if you want to maintain the system, we just turn the system to this one like it is in disable condition, and then you do the maintenance. If you want to do some maintenance, disable first prior to going to maintenance. Again, I will emphasize on this item that this kind of the system should be maintained by qualified contractor. Now, what is the meaning of the qualified? You have to refer to MFPA code. They say what is the meaning of the qualified. Someone who is qualified to do maintenance of pre-action system. It might be a person who is qualified to do maintenance for the wet pipe system or dry pipe system cannot be do maintenance for a pre-action system, because as I said, it's a specialized side of the valve and it's much protected to avoid the discharge of water mistakenly, right? So again, from the top side we have air, right? The air is coming from back line. If you can see, this is the air line. From the top, the air line is coming from the check valve and trying to close those valves from this side, and those air valve is coming from the air maintenance device. So now this air maintenance device is similar to the one we saw in the dry pipe system or deluge system. The air will come from this side. We have a regulator. It will regulate the pressure and it will remove any kind of the material from that. All the way from this, it will coming to this side, right? We have an air connection here, and here we can see. Sorry. Here we have no, not this one. Here we have the air line coming all the way from the back of the check valve. So it will close from the top side. Now if you can see the PH voltage supervised valve, the bottom, if you can focus on that. The function of that is to again to give the low pressure alarm and high pressure alarm into the air system, right? So if the pressure is much higher, it will delay the activation of the pre-action valve, and if the pressure is low, it will try to open this valve even without fire. So we have to be careful regarding those things. And we have a drain connection at this location. If we have to drain, we can drain from this location, right? If the system got discharges, we have to drain the water completely because it's a dry system. So in dry system, if there is water trapped inside the pre-action system, it will corrode the piping very easily. So from the low rise, this is the low level drain system. It will drain from here, and here we have another drain system, because as I said, there is a check valve. Once flow stopped beginning, when flow is stopped, the clapper will hold. So now the water will not come below that one, right? So we have to discharge from this side. So this is the high level drain valve. This is the low level drain valve. We need to discharge this system completely. Once the system activates, it will give signal. It will be activated. The flashing light, the stove will activate, and it will give some signal to the fire alarm panel, and then people will understand there is a fire, and they will try to leave the building. So this is all about the pre-action system. We discussed wet, dry, deluge, and pre-action system. Now I just want to give a quick summary of all the four rises we discussed today. Right? The most easiest one, we have the wet pipe system. If you are walking around and you want to see what is the wet pipe system, you just look for the white red box. If you find those red box or flow switch, it means this is a wet pipe system. And the other way we can imagine the least component, right? It's the much easier one. There is no more equipment and all compared to the other kind of the system. Looking at the dry pipe valve, right? For the dry pipe valve, you can see it is more complex than the normal one, and we have 3 numbers of gauges, right? So those indicate it's a dry pipe system. It's again more costly than the normal, and we install only in location where there is chances for the freezing. After this, the most complex one we have the deluge valve. So this deluge valve is the complex one. So here you have to look again for those three. You have to look again for those three. The pressure gauge, right, and types of the detection system, And the last one, the most complex, the most advanced, the most secure, the most costly, we have the physical system. So this is what, as per NFPA 13 requirement, we have installed at our GIC fire and safety training center. If you are looking at those ones, right? This is riser group 2. We have the same type of riser in this side and same type of riser into this side. The purpose is the same, but if we have enough participants, we have to divide into the group to make the things go effectively. So there comes the end of the riser group discussion. Thank you for your participation.